Good morning, people, and welcome to Your Morning Cup with Chuck, where I help you get inspired, educated, and motivated to a point where all you think is positive thoughts, baby, and positive thoughts create positive action. Welcome to the First Cupkc. This podcast is powered by Podcast.
Welcome back, everyone. Today's special guest comes from the creative side of things. She's a professional doula, small business owner, professional public speaker, and she teaches her special abilities. Please welcome Shanelle Powell to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So,
I'm really excited.
well, you have a special talent, and it's pretty unique. You know, you wouldn't think it would be a profession for doodling. Tell everyone about Shanelle.
Yes. I like to consider myself a professional doodler because it is something that I do live and in front of an audience. I like to use my iPad Pro. It's a unlikely tool for such doodling skills, but with that and my stylus, I can just at any point start drawing, and who knows what's going to come out. It's, really exciting. The element of surprise with what I call mindless doodling, which is kind of me being intuitive and going with my gut about what to draw. It starts with me just drawing a few lines, and then maybe I'll recognize, oh, that looks kind of like a bird or a frog or something, and whatever that I'm seeing, I then develop the sketch or doodle around that. And then next thing you know, there's just weird creations before your eyes. And it's really an element of entertainment. And later I find that these strange doodles end up showing up in other places. And so it's really intriguing just how that whole thing happens.
Oh, professional doodling. Are you originally from the Kansas City area?
No, I'm originally from a suburb of Chicago, Illinois. So
which suburb?
The Naperville, Lisle, Aurora kind of.
Yeah, I grew up on State. Well, I didn't grow up there, but I lived part of my life on State. I'm from Chicago too.
Oh, nice.
I was over off of State line. State, what is it? State line or State Avenue? I can't remember. State Street.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. What brought you to Kansas City?
Well, I actually didn't realize at the time when I had moved to Oceanside, California for about 7 years. It's really expensive there, and,
everywhere.
Yeah, I was just jaded with that whole part of my life and looking to be my own boss. And I did a little research and found out that Kansas City has the highest population per capita of entrepreneurs in, the U.S. And I thought, oh, wow, I want to be an entrepreneur. Maybe there's, a calling for me to go there and start my own business. And then when I kind of looked at the price of living and everything, it was half the cost of California. So I was sold. I was like, let me try this new venture out. I had a little lump of cash and I just, went
Took
and followed my dream. Yeah, exactly.
That's what's up. You, they have did you know they have a big area of art here? They do a lot of,
oh yeah.
They have a big art presence here.
They do. Over at Crossroads.
Big art.
I'm familiar. I've been around and learning a lot. There's a lot of opportunities to kind of learn for free here. How to be business minded, how to invest, and all kinds of things that I've learned while living here. And so it's been, really cool to see these different areas that have opportunities for artists and people who are, business owners.
A lot of business owners here.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm a business owner myself, and probably wouldn't. It was pretty easy. It wasn't as hard as you would think. It's hard to keep going, but definitely a lot of opportunity here. Definitely a lot. So you're into art.
Mm-hmm.
You're into not just art, but you're into like a special art.
Mm-hmm.
You call it intuitive artists.
Yeah, I'm an intuitive artist.
What
I call
is an
myself.
intuitive artist?
It's someone that mixes spirituality, or maybe you wouldn't necessarily want to consider that an artist would also be clairvoyant or a channeler while they're doing their art, but that's exactly what's happening in my case. And so I actually, got my degree in illustration.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of illustrators might be very formal with, how they come about doing their illustrations. But for me, it's kind of more thought, like it's mindless. It just happens. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm not doing it for a particular audience. It's just
Free flowing.
Free flowing. I get into a flow, and what I find out is that I could be watching TikTok a few weeks later, or like YouTube a month later, something that I drew like
Pops
earlier
up.
just pops up, and I just am always like amazed. It's just this whole amazing experience to be that kind of artist, and to one day just say, you know what, this isn't coincidence.
Right.
This is like I'm channeling. I'm actually somehow psychically knowing what's going to come up later. And it's usually the thing that I am thinking about deleting, because it doesn't make any sense to me when I'm drawing it, and I'm like, this is too weird. What is this? And I'm like,
let me finish this.
Almost ready to toss it, and I'll just like say, you know what, let me just keep it. I don't know what this might turn out to be later. And then sure enough, it'll pop up.
So you did one with the Queen.
Yeah, Queen
What was
Elizabeth.
that about?
Oh man, so Queen Elizabeth was all over the news one day, but I don't watch the news. I don't watch television, and I just decided to use my tablet here and have my stylus, and I was in Photoshop. I think I had just recently uploaded the app, and it was new to me using it with the tablet. So I took some time and just started drawing whatever. And before I knew it, I was like, this kind of looks like the Queen. Like, why am I drawing the Queen? So I wanted to see if I was really drawing her. So I went and looked on Google to get a picture so that I could compare the two. And come to find out, she was all over Google about her husband had passed away that day.
Wow.
And so I had found out, like, wow,
So the picture drew you to
drew me to her. And
That's crazy. That's crazy. So you went to school to be trained to?
Yes. In Illinois, I went to NIU, which they actually have a really good illustration program. And initially for a year, I had gone to Illinois State University, ISU, and I loved the environment and the people there, but their art program just wasn't that great.
Fitting.
It's more of a teacher farmer school. So anyway, I learned that a school that my first cousins were going at was actually a good school for illustration, and I decided to switch. And yeah, I went and got my degree there.
How long did it take?
So it took me 4 years, 1 year at ISU and 3 years at Northern.
So you a professional doula. You came to Kansas City seeking an environment of art and entrepreneurship.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, I know you're here for a reason. So have you became that business owner yet?
I have and I haven't. It's like it's taken years. I've been here since 2018, off and on. I did take a year or two in Raleigh, North Carolina, and then I came right back. So it was about a lot of momentum. Initially, I was, because I'm multi-talented, it's like I'm an artist, but I also do other things. I wanted to publish myself in a way that encompassed all the things that I do. And so there was a flip book product that I had initially brought to Kansas City thinking that would be my business. And then after being in Raleigh, because I guess I was a little ahead of my time with that and it wasn't catching on here. And it was a little advanced, the technology behind it, and kind of hard to sell. So I kind of regrouped in Raleigh after learning a lot here. And then COVID hit, and I had done an art party right before COVID hit where I got a unique request from, because I always get commissioned to do different works of art and such, but this time, a guy wanted to do a paint and sip type of event, but he was calling it puff and paint, and he wanted to, because cannabis had just been legalized in Illinois, do this event and have people be able to paint, but he thought that I would kind of teach in a Bob Ross kind of way in front of everybody.
Right.
And
like a conductor style.
Yeah, like a conductor style teaching or art class. I decided that I wanted to do something different. And so I made a coloring page for the whole class, and it was just much easier for them to go at their own pace and kind of use a reference that I had created. And they all had like success and, made beautiful paintings that night. And I learned that I was onto something because when COVID came, I was able to still do paint parties remotely using Zoom. And it was like
in the technology.
So I was like, oh, wow, let me try to, just really do the paint party thing and like full time it and, get a space and, so that's what I've been up to now that I've returned to Kansas City. It's like I have a new product, and this is like a physical product. It's just altogether different. It's something that I can sell at vendor booths and that kind of thing. So it's exciting, but COVID has only been kind of going away maybe last year around this time. So it's still new, trying to get it out in this area.
Well, you hear that, guys? So look her up. She got some pretty interesting stuff. Matter of fact, she kind of like brought something here for us today.
What you got? Look at that.
Yeah. Get that in the frame. Gotta make sure I get that gloss off of it. Yeah, she made the first cupkc. Thank you.
You're welcome. I hope you like it. It was a charcoal original, and I painted the background and just put that whole montage together for you.
Yeah, how long does something like this take to do?
Oh, that was done this afternoon. So just took me a couple hours.
That's pretty neat. You got my nose right.
Awesome,
yeah, guys.
thanks.
That's pretty neat. Why do you think people give up on their creative talents and get real jobs instead of actually following the passions? Why do you think they just give up?
Well, that is something that I'm passionate about helping people with, because there's like a dormancy that happens. They just let it become asleep. It's like an inner child that remember when you used to have art class at school, and I think that a lot of schools right now have taken that away, but it was a time when students would make art for fun. They weren't trying to make a living off of art or anything like that. And
it's just natural.
Just natural creativity would come out. And So because of that, I think that a lot of people don't take it seriously, or there's a stigma of the starving artist. It doesn't seem like something that you can really earn much from. But, I have been looking at how to solve that like all this time since, graduating from NIU back in '02. But, it's been a struggle. And I think that's why a lot of people don't pursue it.
It's
like
just
they
slow.
should. Yeah.
But, you got to keep going, because just think where Picasso started.
Right.
Just think where Beethoven started, or any great, because, artists in dance, artists in drawing, artists in song,
That's
artists
right.
in everything. So
I agree.
everything, when you look around you, everything you see is a creation, and that creation came from somebody's mind art. So that's
agree.
what else are you passionate about?
Well, to me, I define art as anything that you're adept at doing. So you could be adept at cooking or martial arts. There's a lot of titles that have arts in the name that, so for me, I don't think I know a lot of artists that also don't have a band, or that also don't like other creative activities like dancing and whatnot. So, I'm just like that. I like to.
You gotta have an artful soul.
Yeah, I do.
And you do.
All
Like I
the
said, I
things.
checked your social media, and it's full of all kind of art.
Yeah, and so
You do. So what's the show? This last show that you had?
which one?
Was it the most recent show? Because I seen on one of your social medias where you guys were all gathered, and you guys had pieces of art out there, and you had some of your canvas work.
Oh, yeah. So those are opportunities for artists to be vendors and sell.
So like an open booth area,
Open booth. There's Art Garden KC that has given me a lot of opportunities to sell my deluxe paint coloring kits. And then there was Underground KC, which was actually in the basement of Seventh Heaven is what it's called.
It's over off of True Street.
Third World, but yeah. Seventh Heaven is a record shop, and so it was a cool environment because you had a stage down there, and then all of us art vendors, and so people would just like use the open mic and draw people downstairs from
That's neat.
from up there. So
Yeah,
I like to get involved with all kind of things. And First Fridays.
First Fridays. Yeah.
I'll be out there, the first Friday in April, and the first Sunday in April. There, our garden will be back from like a winter break. So I'm excited this spring of all the
spring leads into summer, and there's so many opportunities when the weather opens up like that. Are you on any social media sites? I know you got some activity going on.
I am.
Where can a guest find you?
The guest can find me. I'm Shanelle Powell on Facebook, and Have Max, HAVMAX, is where you can hear some music or see some of that professional doodling I was talking about. And also Club ARTWS is where I'm at on TikTok and Instagram.
You got any YouTube videos up right now?
Yeah, I have an Art Worth Sharing YouTube, and also Shanelle Tarot, which is me actually pulling tarot cards and giving some interesting readings instead of the other format where you might traditionally see tarot readings with all the cards out on the table and whatnot. I'm actually showing a time lapse of some art that I had channeled, and then just talking about the cards that I also pulled.
What positive message could you tell our viewers today?
My motto is don't stop making art worth sharing. And the name of my business is Art Worth Sharing because all this art that we have, all this creativity inside of us is worth sharing. And even if it's just worth exposure or, art therapy in your life, it's worth it to take some time to do it, because a lot of people don't think they have enough time to do it, or they don't think they're very good, but it actually is worth it to go ahead and sharpen those skills.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Do you have any areas where people can possibly come down and catch some doodling classes?
It's like by appointment, but you can definitely direct message me anywhere where I'm on social media, because I do rent out a space. I don't have it all the time, but I can definitely access my art studio, or my clubhouse, as I call it, for people who are seriously interested in having classes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you for coming on the
once
show.
a month, though, I do some
Like
paint and sip kind of parties, and so.
Do you have you ever been over at the parlor?
No.
Yeah, the parlor. Check the parlor out. They have open areas where you can just go like set up a canvas and start doodling right there and catch an audience.
I'll be doing that.
Yeah, a parlor. It's pretty neat.
Okay.
It's down in downtown Missouri.
Okay.
On I think it's like 10th and Locust or something. But
That's
just type
near me.
the parlor or parlor.
Okay.
And
will do.
Check that out. But man,
thanks, Chuck.
It was an honor having you on the show.
Yes, I feel honored.
I look forward to speaking with you guys over at Lion Team.
Yes.
Yeah, I had Sky on the show a couple of episodes ago, and they're pretty. Her and Alan are some pretty interesting people.
Yes, they are.
They're definitely out there trying to help people, and that's
tribe.
Yeah, that's it right there.
Right.
But I appreciate you coming and sharing your story and spending a little time with us on the First Cupkc. Yeah. Thank you guys for joining us again for another episode. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend. And like always, stay positive, people.
Peace.